Simply put, over 1 billion people are reliant on fish as a big part of their daily food intake. So it's a major issue worldwide. It's been estimated at least 87% of fish stocks at the moment are overexploited or in decline. So the fish stocks are not there. It's a finite resource. In terms of illegal fishing, now, of all the catches that are caught, at least 30% are caught illegally. So it's a major political problem affecting many institutions worldwide. The problem essentially has been poor fisheries management over the years, and the fact that a lot of nation states and flag states don't collaborate on this very big issue. There's a little bit of momentum building up now, but is it too little too late? That's the question. And from our perspective, we see a momentum building up, and we're going to be part of that as IHS Maritime, because we can help to create a global record of fishing vessel details and give each fishing vessel a unique identifier. That will help transparency within the marketplace, because people can trace the actual catch with the ship right through to the supermarket. So that really does aid traceability. There's certainly a momentum building up, in fact. There's a couple of initiatives that have taken place in recent years. One big one was the Cape Town Agreement, which was started off in October 2012. It will come into force in a couple of years, and many flags are signing up, flag states. Now, the issue there is that this will bring fishing vessels, which so far have been outside of the scope of inspections, into an inspection regime where they will have to be inspected in terms of safety and to meet certain standards and to be under the domain of port state control inspections. And that whole regime will really increase the amount of transparency going on, because documentation will be produced and they will have to have unique numbers such as an IMO number on the documentation certification. So that's one initiative. The other initiative is the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. Now, they are looking at fishing vessels coming into a foreign port, and they're looking to make sure that the fishing vessel reports when it comes into the port, but also that it is available for inspection in that port in terms of catches and catches coming ashore. Now, in this way, they can mitigate some of the illegal catches coming ashore, so that is a really good initiative. Another one is where the regional fisheries management organisations will start to look at using an IMO number of a fishing vessel in their systems and utilise it. The fishing vessel must have a number, it must be in the system and on the certification. So bit by bit, there's a momentum building up in terms of tracing the catch to the ship and following the ship in terms of the ship details, who owns the ship, the name of the ship, what flag it flies under. Where we come into it is that for many years we have been issuing a unique number to a ship. This happens with merchant ships of 100 gross tons and above, and it's a very effective way of monitoring ships when they change their name, change owner, which they can do 50 or 60 times over their lifespan. This helps to keep that unique number to that ship and to put it onto documentation certification, and it really does mitigate the effects of fraud because you've got a unique number against the ship. Fishing vessels were excluded from the IMO scheme, but in 2013, December, they came into the scheme. So in fact, fishing vessels of 100 gross tons and above now have to have an IMO number. That will really help to follow through on this traceability. Vessels need a unique vessel identifier, a UVI. It's common knowledge within the industry that a vessel must have a unique number to really trace it through the system. It's really difficult at the moment because some vessels are illegally trading under different flags and earning different fishing licenses. So it's a real problem to actually trace these vessels, work out who owns them, what their name is, and establish what flag they actually fly under. Through establishing a UVI system and a global record, this will really help to remove some of that corruption within the system. Now, we come into this very well because we run the scheme on behalf of the IMO for issuing an IMO number. That will now apply to fishing vessels, and so we are in a position to actually issue a number for fishing vessels as we go forward. At the moment, it's really difficult to estimate how many fishing vessels of 100 gross tonnes are in the world fleet. Estimates have been put at somewhere between 50,000 vessels and 185,000 vessels. We at the moment have 22,000 vessels on the system who have voluntarily asked for a number. So you can see there's quite a way to go before we really produce the numbers to make the whole system much more transparent. That's getting there bit by bit, but the way we're going to do it is to have many data exchanges, electronic data exchanges with various institutions, such as the tuna collaboratives, whereby they can give us records of fishing vessels within their fleets, and we can electronically add a number to that fishing vessel. It's quite difficult because there's a finite set of IMO numbers, and we have to follow the rules whereby the vessel must meet certain criteria, i.e. be over 100 gross tonnes, seagoing, and the other problem is that on the high seas there are certain vessels that are below 100 gross tonnes that are trading in other exclusive economic zones, and that's a problem. And so it may be the case that we might have to take in to the framework high seas vessels, although they don't meet the criteria. But all in all, we're working towards really building up this global record. And in fact, we're working with many institutions such as the United Nations to further this in the cause of improving transparency within the industry.